everybody, and welcome into Devon Park here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And what a fun day of softball it's been so far. Next up, Oklahoma State, the #2 seed, taking on Utah, the #7 seed. And after the first two games of the day so far, we have Kansas with a 1-run win over UCF, and then Texas Tech shutting out Baylor 7-0 in the second game of the day. Kansas and Texas Tech could be a very fun matchup after seeing both teams earlier today, but Texas Tech relying a lot on Nyjah Kennedy, but the offense alive as well. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Kat Osterman, and we have Oklahoma State, who right now is rolling, winning 20 of their last 24 games against Utah. And Utah coming in at the 7 seed, a little bit of a must-win to continue on their season, but definitely a good matchup up ahead.
Yeah, Utah coming off 2 wins against ranked Arizona in their final weekend of Big 12 play, so they're riding that high. They have a win against Texas Tech earlier in conference play as well, and it all has really relied on Haley Mastretti in the circle for them. And on the flip side, it's no different. Oklahoma State, they are going to live and die by Ruby Mayland. She is going to get the ball, and they are going to go where Ruby goes.
Absolutely, and Mastretti will start for Utah, and this is just going to be a great pitching matchup right now.
Well, Mastretti's going to attack the strike zone with a lot of drop balls. You see there, she is second team all Big 12. She has key wins for the Utes, and she keeps them in the game, and so it is going to rely on how can she keep Oklahoma State's offense at bay.
I talk about Oklahoma State. I mean, it's going to be Ruby Mayland, the co-pitcher of the year for the Cowgirls.
Well, Ruby Mayland has absolutely made a statement here in the second half of season. She has absolutely been dominant. The rise ball going through the zone has opened up her drop ball again, but she has the senior leadership and that never say die attitude. She has taken the Cowgirls on her shoulders and just said, let's go.
We'll take one break and have first pitch on the other side of it. Oklahoma State and Utah coming up next. Welcome back into Devon Park in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. See Utah's starting lineup, and what Ruby Mayland is going to have to face is a very patient lineup, as they have worked 223 walks this year. That's good enough for second in the Big 12 Conference. So a patient lineup that can also do some damage. But Ruby Mayland has been absolutely dominant this season, named co-pitcher of the year with Nyjah Kennedy of Texas Tech. Has won each of her last 19 decisions, which is the longest active streak in the country. Last 20 appearances, she's 19-0 with a 1.40 ERA. 113 strikeouts. So Ruby Malin, I mean, she's just been so strong and so consistent.
Well, Ruby Malin came to Oklahoma State a year ago and really has been the ace since she stepped on campus. She's going to throw in the upper 60s. She's going to work vertical, drop, rise, and a change. The rise is the key. It's a newer pitch. It has been out of the zone, but lately when she has gotten hot, she's been able to control it through the zone, which has really opened up the ability to use her drop, which she's known for.
First pitch to Mia Gomez is in fouling out of the reach of Davis for strike one. And Malin is familiar with Utah. She picked up the win in each game of the Cowgirls sweep of Utah earlier this year. Gomez, the freshman, 42 RBI, is the designated player in the lineup. Schmitz is outside.
Gomez, one of 4 freshmen to make the all Big 12 freshman team. Matches the most ever for Utah in program history, but really has been able to come on and be a spark plug for the Utes.
Right to the center fielder Wilson. There's the Cowgirls defensive alignment. It is McDonald at first base, Conwin at second, Davis at third with Jones at short, and then Tim in left field, Austin in center field, and Hoffman in right. And Schneidmiller behind the plate catching for Ruby Malin. Shanti Passy in on the right side, and Malin fires in a first pitch strike.
Well, Ruby Malin is not afraid to tap down. She trusts her stuff. She's going to go right at the Utah. Going to have to be aggressive early before she starts trying to dip and elevate out of the zone.
Passy was a staple in Utah's lineup last season, one of only 2 Utes to play in all 53 games. 1-1 misses a little bit high. She sends it to center field. Austin back on it, onto the warning track. Kind of twisting and turning, but she makes the catch in front of the wall for the second out of the inning.
Maybe because it's clear skies and there's no hint of anything in the atmosphere right now, but these balls out to center field are carrying, I think, a lot farther than the center fielder expects. JL Austin, not the first center fielder we've seen to have to do some twists and turns to catch what looks like it's going to be a routine fly ball off the bat.
We've seen that a few times now, particularly in center field. 2 outs for Danica Wilson. First pitch, a called strike for Malin.
Well, interesting enough, 2 fly balls off the bat of the Utes to start this game. Malin using that rise ball a little bit more, knowing that the scouting report says she goes down in the zone.
Sends it foul, third base side for strike 2, and Wilson out down in the count against Malin.
It's going to be an interesting pitching matchup. As we mentioned in the open, Haley Mastretti coming off back-to-back wins against ranked opponents. She has a win against Texas Tech as well. Meanwhile, Ruby Malin, she only beat OU and Texas in midweeks, as well as just carrying Oklahoma State through Big 12. So 2 pitchers, liked that pitch at the knees. But 2 pitchers who have big wins and have the confidence coming here into the Big 12 tournament.
Two. Goes upstairs, and that misses for ball 3. A full count worked against Wilson.
Wilson, another one of that quartet of freshmen to be earning all Big 12 freshman honors this year. Coach Amy Hogue talking about it and really thought a good number of their freshmen would be able to play and have an impact this year. Put my notes, I said Fab Four. We've been able to be in the lineup every day and really just be a force. And for Amy Hogue, that bodes well for the future of the Utah program.
3-2 misses high and outside. Ball 4. The inning continues. The cleanup batter, Kennedy Proctor. Amy Hogue, head coach for Utah, coaching her 1,000th game for Utah today. It's quite a career milestone, and now you get to do it in the Big 12 tournament.
And you see there, all-time wins leader. She has 526. She got 500 at Utah earlier this year, 700 overall in her head coaching career a couple days later in February. So a milestone year for Amy Hogue as she continues to rack up the wins, and as you mentioned, 1,000th career game coached. Gotta love it. She made the trek all the way over to her first base dugout to make sure she's telling her hitters, make sure you see it up, but we're only seeing it up this far, and then after that we're laying off, making sure the offensive philosophy gets communicated.
I don't think anyone missed out on hearing her and her insight. As Proctor fouls at first base side out of play. Proctor tied a program record earlier this year with 3 doubles against Illinois State. Swings and misses as the count falls to 0-2.
There's a rise ball from Ruby Malin, and when she tunnels that with her drop ball, essentially saying that they're starting almost at the same point, it's going to be hard to decide which one you lay off of and which one you drive. Typically, though, drop balls that start as high don't drop as much, so she's going to have to find that even balance.
0-2 is lined right to Austin again in center field. She makes the catch and records all 3 outs as Utah strains runner at first. We head to the bottom of the first inning.
Being on a path trying to go to the Olympics, your life revolves around your training and making yourself better. The KRT Athletic Muscle Cream definitely makes me more confident and makes me want to go further. I started using their cream and my hamstring issues started going away. And so I use it before training, I use it after training. I'm religious about this stuff. I want to be an Olympian, but I don't just want to go to the Olympics, I want to win a medal.
Old Trapper Beefs. Pack smash.
My peanut butter and jelly.
Ew.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess my ham and cheese didn't make it.
Old Trapper. What's your beef?
Now that's a great view.
Yep.
Bottom of the first inning back at Devon Park in Oklahoma City, and there's the Oklahoma State lineup, and this lineup, you get somebody on base, they move them up. 34 sacrifice bunts leads the Big 12 Conference. And they will face Haley Mastretti in the circle, a sophomore out of Parker, Colorado.
Well, you see there the 2.38 ERA. Haley Mastretti keeps offenses at bay for the most part. She's not overpowering. She throws around 63, 64, but similar to Ruby Malin, she's going to stay down in the zone, use that down spin, matches it with a changeup. And we talked about it already, back-to-back ranked wins against Arizona. Also has a win against Texas Tech. So the sophomore with a lot of experience under her belt and a lot of confidence coming into this Big 12 tournament.
And And talking with Coach Hogue of Utah, she said they got hot early and they got hot late, which might be perfect timing as Claire Tim leads off the inning with a single to right field.
Claire Tim just takes this drop ball in the inner half. Pulls that to right field. Oklahoma State in business early. When you face a drop ball pitcher, you're not trying to lift, trying to overswing. Really just go down and meet it, and Claire Tim does that for the easy single.
First pitch to Godwin, swing and a miss, but mentioned it earlier, sacrifice bunt's a huge part of Oklahoma State's game.
A big part of their game, but the other thing is when you're facing elite drop movement, it is hard for a hitter to stay down and get a bunt fair sometimes. So Coach Kenny Gajewski might be a little bit more careful in calling for a sac bunt against a pitcher like Mistretti.
Pitch misses high and inside for ball 2.
Mistretti trying to use that off speed early. Just getting away from her.
Foul at the plate, and the count evens 2-2. Texas Tech won earlier 7-0, and Mistretti was the first pitcher of the year to shut them out. They were the #1 ranked team in the country back on April 11th. This is low and inside, ball 3. Count is full for Carly Godwin. Lines it to left field, and Lee makes the catch just above the grass. Takes away the hit from Godwin.
Oh, well, it's not her count, right?
Here's the defense behind Mistretti with Noli at first base, White at second, Passy, the shortstop, Lyon at third base. Then in the outfield, Lee in left, Wilson in center, and Crank in right field, and then Proctor behind the plate catching for Mistretti. Rosie Davis in on the right side. Swings at the first pitch. Mistretti attacking her inside.
Inside drop ball, if you can get the break on it and keep it in the right lane, meaning it's staying over that corner of the plate, it's going to be a hard pitch for hitters to hit, especially the closer to the plate they get. Mistretti coming from the left side. That drop ball in, while it's going down, it also looks like it's going to come across because she's coming across her body.
Davis spoils another one for strike 2.
As a left-handed drop ball pitcher, I can tell you when it's working into a righty on one day, you just live there.
Because it seems like it would be so deceiving as a right-handed hitter. It looks good, and like you said, it cuts across the plate.
And the key for Mistretti is going to be either A, locate a drop out occasionally for a strike, or be able to use that off-speed pitch on the outer half, see if she can get them out in front and then open up the inside again.
Davis grounds it foul third base side, and Rosie Davis, the junior, currently leads the team in extra base hits with 24, second for the Cowgirls in RBI with 44. She has Claire Tim at first base, reaching on the leadoff single with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Called strike 3, and she freezes Rosie Davis. First strikeout, second out of the inning.
This a drop on the outer half that doesn't necessarily drop a ton. She places this in the zone. Great job by Proctor there, working around that one as well. A big second out for Mistretti.
First pitch to McDonald, misses a little bit outside. McDonald, the senior. And the Cowgirls are 15-3 in their last 18 games since McDonald has been added to the starting lineup.
Well, Coach Kenny Gajewski was not shy in talking about what Lexi McDonald means. He said she wasn't in the lineup, but he liked her at bats, the way she works. They made the move, moved Carly Godwin over to second base, put Lexi McDonald at first. And he said it's made all the difference in the world. The team has now taken on some of her personality. He said, small town, hardworking, silo area, so essentially I'm guessing farming kind of town and blue collar work ethic. But he said that they've taken on her hard work and her personality, and it's been a game changer.
Well, he also said she has the silo slam.
That too, the power from Lexi McDonald. But there you see, last 24 games, they've won 20 of them, 2 of those against Oklahoma and Texas, both ranked in the top 5, but outscoring opponents 144 to 87. And a lot of that due to Ruby Malin and her dominance in the circle, but the offense being able to come alive behind her.
Amanda Hassler at the plate, 2 outs, but 2 on for the Cowgirls here in the bottom of the first inning.
You can tell the Cowgirls understand that that outer half, Mastretti isn't as consistent hitting that in the strike zone. So they're really not looking at anything on the outer half right now, which could be why Rosie Davis got froze for a strike.
Yeah, they're definitely working a little bit into the at-bat and seeing more and more pitches from Mastretti. This is high, and Hassler just remaining patient.
And you can see Mastretti starting to get a little frustrated. She did throw her hands up and ask where'd that miss on the pitch before that off-speed pitch, and that off-speed pitch a little bit high.
Well, that's a strike in at the knees. Count goes full. So Mastretti works her way back into the at-bat. Count goes full with 2 outs, 2 on in the bottom of the first. The payoff. Softly lines it right to the first baseman, Noli, who makes the catch. And the Cowgirls strand 2 as we head to the top of the second, scoreless in Oklahoma City. Top of the second, back in a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in Oklahoma City. Scoreless through 1 inning as Sian Noli will lead things off for the Utes. With Ruby Malin in the circle for the Cowgirls, just being announced over the PA here in the stadium that she was named the co-pitcher of the year in the Big 12 Conference.
fun little in between innings. They recognize who has been awarded the Big 12 awards.
I think 9 straight complete games and then still able to put up those numbers. I mean, what a feat that is by itself, not to mention everything else on her resume right now.
Well, and could have had 10. They took her out at the end of their win against Kansas. Otherwise, she would have had 10 complete games. Coach Gajewski talks to us about Ruby Malin and says that she's a different level right now just with how she approaches everything. She's in shape, she's strong. Said she makes all of her food, she makes sure it's healthy and clean. I wanted to be like, can I order up some food to get delivered if that's the case? Or make extra, bring it up here?
Right, just double everything.
There have been times where there have been team outings or they've decided to go to a sporting event at Oklahoma State, and she says, hey guys, I'm gonna stay back because I need to rest up. We got a game tomorrow, I need to make sure I'm recovered. So just understanding what she needs to be at her best for this team.
And it sounds like she's doing the details, like you said, the diet, the sleep. It's those little things that contribute so much, especially towards the end of the season as well.
Well, the sleep and the recovery, when you're a pitcher who throws as much as Ruby Malin does, and you know what the postseason is going to be like because you've experienced it multiple times, you have to start making sacrifices at a certain point where, yeah, you're home. You're home watching something and putting your feet up versus going out with people. Even if you're going to be seated down, it's just the mental and emotional clarity that you need, as well as, hey, sometimes I'm putting on compression boots or my feet are up the wall or sitting in a homemade ice bath, whatever is needed in order to be at your best.
2-2 to Noli, and she fights off another one foul out of play.
So far, not even out registered here in the second inning, but Utah making Ruby Malin work. 23 pitches already in this game.
Noli sends it to right center field. Ranging over is Austin, who makes the catch. Austin has recorded every out of the game.
You beat me to it. I was about to say, and another fly ball to center field out there for JL Austin. All of them out there, but only one really hit hard, and that was the first one of the game off the bat of Mia Gomez.
And bounce off the first pitch. Senior out of Corona, California. So played at California Baptist. Base is empty, one away, still scoreless, top of the second. Malin finds the outside part of the plate, a called strike 2.
Both drop ball pitchers have been working more of the inner half to right-handed hitters, and Ruby Malin able to spot that one up on the outer half. And again, it's that spot right there. You don't see as much dip out of the pitch, but it drops just enough, and it starts at a height.
Lines where to, but to center field.
I was about to say, it lined up nicely with a rise ball, and then you induce a soft line drive to none other than JL Austin.
That's the 5th F8 put in the book.
At some point, everyone else might take a seat and just let JL Austin stay out there and track everything down.
Yeah, they can put their feet up. Take a page out of Ruby Malin's book. Haley White, though, will step in, try to break up the trend. She fouls it left side. Strike 1.
But again, despite all 5 balls going to center field, only one has really been barreled up well. So Ruby Malin continuing to use her spin to keep Utah at bay.
Fires in a strike, and again, Malin is ahead early, 0-2. We've seen that now Last couple of batters trying to get that early 2-strike count.
Schneidmiller out to talk to Ruby Balin. Not sure what about, but sometimes, and it's hard to see if you're just a casual fan or you haven't been in a bullpen with somebody, but occasionally you'll see a pitcher throw through their spin. And so like that last pitch from Ruby Balin, great spot, threw it hard. There wasn't a lot of break on it, so Schneidmiller might be like out there saying, hey, you're starting to overthrow a bit. It's not dipping like we want. She may also have noticed an adjustment by the hitter.
Well, and no one really knows these pitchers better than their catchers because they have the bullpens on top of the games.
100%. They're working together in the pens. They have some managers that fill in for them time to time, but even some days when they're not necessarily in there, they're in there talking to them.
This one's grounded to Davis at third. She throws across to first. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the second, scoreless in Oklahoma City.
The main obstacle has been the same throughout my life is you're not big enough, you're not fast enough, you're not strong enough. And so just kind of having that chip on my shoulder of like, all right, head first down some ice. That's the way we're gonna go. Working with KRT Athletic Muscle Cream has helped me improve every aspect of my physicality. So being able to have my muscle, my joints, and my tendons healthy, not cramp up, and be ready to achieve the extra reps, because those extra reps are what's gonna make the difference between a medal and a non-medal.
Hell of a good.
Seriously? No hell of a good dip? Whoa, creamy. A double dip. Where's Jill?
Hell of a good.
It's not a party without hell of a good.
Hell of a good.
Hello?
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Bottom of the second here in Oklahoma City. Some young fans taking in some softball here as we kick off the Big 12 Conference Tournament, and I've seen some great softball so far. And early in this one, only in the bottom of the second, but some really good pitching so far.
Yeah, Ruby Balin doing a good job keeping the Utes at bay. Just a walk so far and the blemish on her scorecard. And stranded a single and a walk.
Hoffman fouls off the first pitch for strike one.
I will say, though, both offenses have made these pitchers work. A little bit hard to get the outs, though, fouling off a lot of pitches.
Hoffman with 7 RBI in last week. Freshman of the Week honors.
3 home runs in 4 games as well, so seeing the ball big.
Just in her last 9 at-bats, she's a triple, 4 home runs and 9 RBI. Coach calls her a machine. Down in the count here, 0-2. Pitch misses low and inside for ball 1. And when she was named Big 12 Freshman of the Week on May 5th, that was just 2 weeks after recording her first career home run. That was at Texas.
Well, that was a big home run as well, as Oklahoma State was able to shut out the Longhorns. And sometimes it just takes that first one to break through, and then all of a sudden the belief and the confidence is a lot bigger.
Strikes out here, and that brings up the catcher, Aubrey Schneidmiller.
Estretti continuing to use that drop ball. Just going a little bit lower and lower in the zone to get the chase.
First pitch strike for Mastretti, but Schneidmiller named the defensive team, and kind of a no-brainer. She's the only catcher in the Big 12 with a perfect fielding percentage. Swings and misses for strike 2.
Mastretti took some off that one. Not an off-speed pitch, and it mirrors her drop. So you see the break the same. The key is being able to locate it there, down in the zone, as opposed to up in the zone. But to your point, Emma, Schneidmiller has been such a rock behind home plate for the Cowgirls. Hassler also a catcher, and again, Coach Gajewski pointing to moves that had to be made just to solidify and stabilize all facets of the game, and Schneidmiller behind home plate does that for the Cowgirls defensively.
Mastretti goes inside this time as the count evens 2-2.
And in years past, Schneidmiller has been really just quoted for her defense, but hitting .320 this year. A couple home runs as well.
And she freezes for the third strike. Back-to-back Ks here for Mastretti with some mixed feelings about that call.
Oklahoma State fans don't like this call, and that's a good drop ball, but I do think that's low in the zone. Proctor does a great job bringing that up back there. That's where you tip your hat. Catcher doing a great, doing her job of making a pitch look even better.
This one hit on the ground to the shortstop pass. He throws to first. It's out of the reach of Noli. Aubrey Jones reaches, so a good kind of bounce back at bat after that strike 3 call. Now Jones reaches. There is JL Austin.
Well, the biggest thing the error does here is now allows JL Austin to come to bat, which will allow Oklahoma State to get to the top of their lineup in the 3rd inning already, if not here in the 2nd.
Austin lines into the left center field gap. Jones rounds 2nd, heads to 3rd. She holds there. And that's a double for JL Austin. Boy, has she been busy recording 5 of the 6 outs, and now puts a double in the gap.
Well, she's warmed up and ready to go.
Exactly, her legs are ready.
She's been tracking some balls already. She's been moving around out there, so she was warmed up, ready to go here in this at-bat. But she takes a drop ball middle out, not outside enough off the arm of Mastretti, but takes that to the left center, and getting at Gajewski, waiting to see the throw in from Lee to Passy to decide what he was going to do with Aubrey Jones, but essentially holds her up.
And now it's the top of the lineup with Claire Tim. She singled off of Mastretti in the 1st inning, and a single here could bring home a run for the Cowgirls. But 2 outs. Tim bats on the left side. First pitch swinging, and it's fouled right side. And Tim has had a just fantastic season at the plate. Her batting average has never dropped below .333.
Well, and she was part of the shuffle that Gajewski points to when you ask about what made the team start hitting on all cylinders. He said they moved her up to leadoff, and while her batting average dropped a little bit, she continued to have quality at bats, was finding ways on base, just setting a tone that they needed. We've talked about it a few times with different lineups. Jared Glasgow shaking up his here in the Big 12 tournament. Glenn Moore joking that he's had 40+ different lineups, and he doesn't ever know that he's ever done that before. But these coaches just continuing to figure out, okay, what best combination is going to lead to ultimate success, and not necessarily getting too comfortable with just one lineup.
I think that speaks to the versatility and the talent of a lot of these players. Is you can put them in a multitude of different positions in the lineup and still have success.
And some of that plays when you have a lineup 1 through 9 that can produce. So at any point in time, somebody's a little bit hotter, maybe they move up, you move down, but it doesn't mean you're not a good hitter. And it's having those conversations as a coach too, like hey, today you're going to be in the 9 hole because you've done this, this, and this well, and you're going to turn the lineup over for us to then drive you in with whoever's at the top.
Or you're like Kansas earlier today and you have production all the way down.
Almost everyone finds a way to get a hit and get on base.
Here's the 3-2. Inside, it looks like it hit Tim in her knee. That now loads the bases for Carly Godwin.
Well, when Tim got in the batter's box for this at bat, I thought she was starting to crowd the plate. Right there, that drop ball in, tails into the back knee of Claire Tim. A hit by pitch to load the bases, but she challenged Mastretti by getting up in the box a little bit.
Is that what you would expect left-handed hitters to try to get a little bit of an edge with Mastretti if they typically don't always crowd the plate, they maybe take an extra step?
Well, especially if you know her best drop ball is going to be a crossbody. So what's inside to righties, outside to lefties, then yeah, you crowd the plate to try to make sure you can reach and stay with that as it tails a little bit. As a left-handed pitcher, you have to be able to go straight down, almost trying to aim over their toes so you don't get the knees, but occasionally one slips.
Called strike inside to Godwin, and
the strikeout looking to Schneidmiller definitely was low. Oklahoma State fans can't be upset about that one. That is a very pretty pitch by Mastretti, and it is absolutely a strike.
grounds it found, stays alive. We got Rosie Davis on deck, who's batting .364 with the bases loaded this season. To get through Carly Godwin first. Just misses outside, and Proctor tried to frame it. I mean, she just held it there.
Yeah, Mastretti wanted that one. I do think that one was off the corner, but Proctor does a really good job of framing, making a lot of these pitches look extremely close.
That goes to the, I would almost call it an artistry behind the plate, trying to frame a lot of these pitches.
Oh, 100%. When you get pitchers that are smooth with their, or excuse me, catchers that are smooth with their framing, as a pitcher, you get a lot of extra calls, but too, they can deceive umpires sometimes, and just a slight move, they make a pitch look really nice and make hitters even second guess where the strike zone is.
Goes right inside to Godwin, swing and a miss, and a huge out for Mastretti as the Cowgirls leave the bases loaded here in the bottom of the second. A huge pitch for Mastretti, and we're still scoreless. We head to the top of the third. Top of the third inning at Devon Park in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and a gorgeous day for plenty of softball as we kick off the Big 12 Conference Softball Tournament. And a good battle right now between Oklahoma State and Utah. And Cowgirls had the bases loaded in the bottom of the second, came up empty after Mastretti struck out the side. And it'll be a Peyton Crank to lead things off against Ruby Mellon. First pitch misses a little bit high. They do see if she went around. She did not. Ball one.
Yeah, shoulders moved, but don't think the barrel actually flicked across the plate. Peyton Crank. The last of the, what are we going to call them, Fab Four for Utah freshmen to earn all freshman team honors. And is a highly recruited athlete, was a member of the U18 junior national team. So has already worn the USA across her chest.
And on the ground to the shortstop, Jones ranges to her left. A good play, throws to first, one away. Here comes Reese Lee, the left fielder. Malin has recorded a strikeout in every game she's appeared in for Oklahoma State, 81 games in total. But the Utes doing a good job of putting the ball into play. They have not been struck out by Malin yet today. Drives it left center field. Austin back on it, and right now Austin has been the MVP defensively as she has recorded almost every single out for the Cowgirls.
Yeah, she's been busy out there in center field, but nothing that hasn't been too routine. But to your point, Malin has been in control up until Crank and Lee. She had thrown first pitch strike to every single hitter. So the first 2 innings, every hitter got first pitch strike. Peyton Crank able to lay off the rise ball, and Lee a drop ball in the dirt here so far in this inning. That just shows how in command she is and how much she trusts her stuff to know, hey, I can just go right at everybody. Then if they start making the adjustments to swinging early, then you can worry about stretching it out of the zone.
And Gomez talking and laughing with her coach. Always a good sign, just keeping the players loose, keeping everyone relaxed. Head coach Amy Hogue coaching her 1,000th game at Utah today. Gomez stands in on the left side. 2 gone already, nobody on. Gomez hit one to center field, as it has had most of the Utes so far. It's tracked down by Austin.
Interesting here too, Ruby Malin without a strikeout so far in this game against Utah. I really found it interesting in this first round that with how the Big 12 is scheduled, you don't play one opponent. And there's not a single matchup where we got a new matchup for the conference series, like they didn't play in conference series. Everyone has played whoever they're playing here in this opening round. I think the other piece is familiarity is going to win out a little bit, which will lower your strikeout rates. If you're a big power hitter, sometimes it'll change your game plan because they treat you differently after seeing you for 3 games.
2 just misses inside as Malin, you can kind of almost tell with the way that she backed up with her steps. She might have wanted that one.
Oh yeah, it's a pitcher when you think you've struck someone out looking, there's a little bit of a strut. Thought that was a really good pitch, and that's pretty comparable to what Mistretti's doing on the opposite side.
Now she bounces the 3-2 pitch in the dirt, and it results in a 2-out walk issued to Mia Gomez.
You could tell Malin frustrated that she let that one go.
That's just the second base runner of the day. Both have reached on walks. Shanti Passy in on the right side. First pitch swinging and pops it up foul behind the plate. Oh, it's catchable. Schneidmiller right at the netting. Bobbled it, but still able to make the catch. And the Utes strand one, a runner at first. We're still scoreless. We head to the bottom of the third in Oklahoma City. Bottom of the third inning, and it'll be Rosie Davis to lead things off for the Cowgirls. But how about this catch from Aubrey Schneidmiller to end the inning? It was popped up behind the plate. She tracked it all the way to the wall, hit off her mitt, and then she was able to cradle it right in front of her stomach, and that ended the inning. Really impressive catch.
That was high and probably only cleared that netting, not hitting it by like a foot. More impressive was as she felt it starting to roll out of her glove, was being able to go ahead and just trap in on her chest protector.
Well, she probably looked up too, and you see the sun and then shadows, sun again probably, so she was dealing with a lot of different changes of the lighting.
And we pointed out there's not a cloud in the sky.
Not a cloud, still not a cloud in the sky. So a lot of blue up above. 1-1, line to center field. Wilson trots in, makes the catch.
All right, now both pitchers just really able to stay comfortable. Despite long at-bats, you can tell each one battling. Neither one really getting too rattled. We've seen Mistretti throw her hands up a couple times on where pitches have missed. Maybe it's a drop-ball pitcher thing between her and Ruby Malin. And I think I told you guys earlier, always interesting when umpires say hi and excited to see me, because I'm pretty sure I threw my hands up at almost all of them.
Yeah, but once or twice, hands might have gone up.
Yeah, only once or twice. When you're a drop-ball pitcher and you work that bottom part of the zone, and I can feel for them, you like get the perfect snap off and you see it drop, and then they're like, down too low, and you're just like, oh, any higher, they can like totally barrel that up. So you always are trying for that pitch that's just flirting right there on the line.
Oh, just misses outside. Yeah, such a thin line between A good pitch low in the zone, and then a good pitch that looks even better leaving the ballpark.
As a drop-up pitcher, you're trying not to hang that one that can leave the ballpark.
It's a called strike inside, and the count evens 2-2. And Cowgirls have struggled in the last couple of innings. They've left 5 runners on base the first 2 innings. The base is loaded in the second.
Well, right there, Mastretti used an off-speed pitch on the inner half. Typically, people will use that changeup away, but she used it inside. And it's deceptive because it looks a lot like her drop ball, but then is slower. And so really plays with the timing of Oklahoma State.
Two outs for Amanda Hassler, and Hassler 0 for 1. Lined out to the first baseman, Noli, back in the first inning. It's that first pitch strike, low and in.
Well, at some point, even if it's borderline, you now have to start to try to attack it because you know she's not going up in the zone. She's using down in the zone and changing speed. She's not also throwing a rise ball or a curve ball. So as a hitter, you understand you're going to have to be able to drop barrel to drive it. So at some point, you start splitting the plate, and if you see it there, you go down and give it your best effort instead of continuing to watch that borderline pitch.
He sends it deep right field, crank back on it, onto the warning track. She makes the catch. Crashes into the wall. What a fantastic defensive play to end the inning. We head to the top of the 4th, and we'll talk with head coach Amy Hogue of Utah when we come back. Scoreless through 3 in Oklahoma City.
Being on a path trying to go to the Olympics, your life revolves around your training and making yourself better. The KRT Athletic Muscle Cream definitely makes me more confident and makes me want to go further. I started using their cream and my hamstring issues started going away. And so I use it before training, I use it after training. I am religious about this stuff. I want to be an Olympian, but I don't just want to go to the Olympics, I want to win a medal.
Old Trapper Beefs. Pack smash.
My peanut butter and jelly.
Ew.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess my ham and cheese didn't make it.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Now that's a great view.
Yep.
Top of the 4th inning, we're joined now by head coach Amy Hogue for the Utes. And coach, you're in your 1000th game, if you can believe it, for Utah. And right now, scoreless, a good matchup. But what does the offense have to do? Maybe make some adjustments against Ruby Malin to get the offense going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd want to hit against her. It's pretty tough, but yeah, they know the adjustments they need to make, and it's hard, and they're working on it. We've barreled some balls, and nothing's fallen yet, but I like our approach. I like our at-bat so far.
Coach Haley Mastretti doing what we've seen her do time and time again this season, keeping Oklahoma State pretty much at bay. What is it, and obviously we see the drop spin, but what else is it that makes her so successful in the circle?
She's just calm, and she doesn't miss by much. I feel like I'm playing a video game. I'll just punch in a number, and it goes where it's supposed to, which makes it easy for me as the pitch caller, but she just doesn't miss by much. So if you can figure out a team's approach that they're trying to have or a situation and pitch to it, she's got a little bit of everything. So just got to punch in the right number because she is phenomenal, and I love having her out there.
Well, she's setting the tone for you guys right now. Thank you for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks. Go Utes.
Oh, we gotta go huge. She's the first one today that's thrown out whatever their tagline is.
So Ruby Malin will be the one to beat. I think the positive, though, for the Utes is the fact that they have not been struck out by Malin.
Well, no, and as she said, they're getting the bat to the ball. They just haven't had anything fall. And a couple barrels, but not many. But that's going to be how it is against elite pitching. So against Ruby Malin, you're not going to barrel a ton of balls up. It's not going to be loud outs. But can you capitalize when there is one missed? And then if you get runners on, can you capitalize in order to drive them in at the right time? Because it's going to take consecutive quality at bats to get to Ruby Malin in Oklahoma State.
First pitch just misses a little bit outside for ball one. Wilson earlier this year had a on-base streak of 24 consecutive games. Makes the 1-0 pitch inside for a called strike, and the count evens.
Well, both these pitchers doing masterful at being able to hit the corners. That pitch there by Ruby Malin, we've seen the same thing from the left side by Mastretti.
Sends it to left field. Makes the catch. One away in the top of the fourth.
Well, Claire Timmon on the action. The ball didn't go to J.L. Austin in center field for once.
There is Kennedy Proctor. Fly out to center field. To J.L. Austin.
Coach Hope told us coming into this game, they have to figure out how to hit Ruby. The goal is to score 2 and hold Oklahoma State to 1. Right now, zeros across the board for both teams. So on the defensive side, able to do the job. And we've seen a couple good defensive plays. That last out by Crank as she hauled it in with a catch over her head. But that clean defense is going to be key for them. But they haven't been able to crack Ruby Malin yet.
Bounces that one in front of the plate. And Malin doesn't seem too one way or the other with the balls put into play. The most kind of emotion we've seen are just some borderline strike 3, ball 4 calls.
You can tell with Ruby Malin, she doesn't get bothered by balls put in play. In fact, she gets fired up when her defense can make good plays, and she'll use that as fuel.
1-2, sent high to left field. Graf moving over, and another fly out to the outfield, and now it's all hit to left instead of center. Austin, though, of course, backing her up.
It is still interesting for a pitcher who is primarily a drop ball pitcher. So you would expect a lot of ground balls. Ruby Malin, 8 fly ball out so far in this ball game. Again, we mentioned it. She's been using that rise ball to go through the zone a little bit more. Well, she isn't getting the swing and miss. The easy fly balls are second best option.
Noli puts this one on the ground to the shortstop. Jones throws to first. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 4th inning. We'll talk to Coach Gajewski when we come back from break. Scoreless still in Oklahoma City. bottom of the 4th inning back in Oklahoma City. Joined now by head coach Kenny Jayeski and coach Austin in center field. Been a little bit busy recording the first 5 outs of the game, but what does that say as a defense as a whole right now, backing up Malin? And it looks like we might have some technical difficulties now on the field. So coach can't quite hear us, so we'll let him head back into the third base coach's box. The Madison Hoffman will lead things off. He bats on the left side against Mastretti. First pitch swinging, lines it down the right field line. Crank bobbles it a little bit as she rounds first, heads to second. The throw is dropped, and Madison Hoffman now stands in scoring position to lead off in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Well, first pitch she sees, Hoffman sees the ball up in the zone. She gets around it, so goes tails to the right field line, and that little bit of bobble by Peyton Crank allows Hoffman to turn on the wheels, gets herself into second base, scoring position with no outs.
Here's Aubrey Schneidmiller. Shows bunt, pulls back as the defense adjusts. And it's a big spot for the Cowgirls, but at the same time, they did have the bases loaded against Mastretti back in the 2nd. Claire Tim led off the 1st inning, made it to 2nd. But every time Mastretti's been able to pitch around whatever situation as she throws the pitch out of the reach of Proctor, rolls to the backstop, and up to 3rd goes Hoffman.
Well, in a bunt situation, this pitch just gets away from Proctor as Mastretti tries to go up in the zone a little bit. And now a well-placed ground ball or a sac fly could be the difference against Schneidmiller.
Leave early, Hoff.
Head coach Amy Hogue might be out asking to see if that ball ricocheted off the bat of Schneidmiller as she pulled back from showing bunt.
The call on the field is that the runner did not leave early at second base. Utah is challenging this call. This play is under further review.
Oh. So Utah challenging that Hoffman left second early on the pass ball.
This is the only the 2nd challenge that we've seen all day. And this would be a big play for Oklahoma State if the call stands.
Remember, Hoffman can't leave second until the ball has left Mastretti's hand. Ooh, I do think Hoffman's off that bag. About half a step too early. Yeah, she's off.
The call on the field is changed. The runner left early. We have an out. Utah keeps their challenge.
Such an unfortunate break for Oklahoma State as they looked like they had a runner 60 feet away from scoring. And so crucial as a base runner to understand your timing. If you're not stealing, there's no reason to be trying to get off so early. And you know right there, Hoffman wasn't stealing third. So unfortunately for Oklahoma State, their base runner is wiped clean.
One out on the board now for Schneidmiller, and again, Utah kind of finds another way to get out of a leadoff base runner kind of situation. Schneidmiller struck out against Mastretti back in the 2nd.
Oh, with the instant replay now and the ability to go out and appeal something like that, there are Whether it's a player on the bench, an assistant coach, a grad assistant, there are people designated just to watch runners now. And Utah was quick to pull the trigger on that review.
And with all the angles of the cameras, you pointed it out clear as day that she did leave early.
And she left, and a hit and run wasn't on, and there was one stealing. So why so quick to leave second? That's going to be the question as they go back and watch film.
Pitch just misses inside, ball 3.
Schneimiller shaking her head after that one. That was very similar to the drop ball she got rung up on in the second inning, and she's saying, no, sir, that one was not there.
Lines it hard to the third baseman. Lyon fires across to first. Takes care of the second out. Almost looked like she made the catch, but it's a throw to first, and here comes Aubrey Jones.
Here, Schneimiller, a hard sinking line drive. I don't think she made the catch, but she made the throw over for good measure.
Swing and a miss, and a little bit of an off-balance swing from Aubrey Jones. I do not think that was the pitch she was expecting.
Well, it's when Mastretti is able to throw that off-speed pitch inside, because it looks just like her drop ball. You think a hard drop's coming in, and all of a sudden you're way out ahead of it as it floats on the inner half. A well-executed changeup inside can absolutely spin a hitter around.
Kind of goes back to what you were talking about earlier with the tunneling.
Yes, it's so important as a pitcher, whether it's a curve and a drop and a change, a curve and a rise sometimes, but being able to make sure you have at least 2 pitches that look similar as long as possible to the plate.
Time called as Mastretti ties her shoelace. So the earliest Sun Devils have arrived. We're going to have the nightcap of Arizona and Arizona State wrap up this first day of action. Hits it hard on the ground, third base side, bobble, and initially still gets the throw off in time. And after the leadoff single and then the challenge call at second base, the Cowgirls come up empty. We head to the top of the 5th, still scoreless in Oklahoma City.
The main obstacle has been the same throughout my life, is you're not big enough, you're not fast enough, you're not strong enough. And so just kind of having that chip on my shoulder of like, all right, head first down some ice, that's the way we're gonna go. Working with KRT Athletic Muscle Cream has helped me improve every aspect of my physicality. So being able to have my muscle, my joints, and my tendons healthy, not cramp up, and be ready to achieve the extra reps, because those extra reps are what's gonna make the difference between a medal and a non-medal.
Hell of a good.
Seriously? No hell of a good dip? Whoa, creamy. A double dip. Where's Jill?
Hell of a good.
It's not a party without hell of a good.
Hell of a good.
Hello?
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Back at Devon Park in Oklahoma City. Fun one here, top of the 5th, scoreless. Good little pitcher's duel happening. Kayla Lyon to lead things off. It's Ruby Malin. Malin retired her last 4 batters she has faced. Only 2 base runners today reached via walks. That was Gomez in the 3rd inning and then Danica Wilson in the 1st. And the Utes have not been struck out by Malin. The ball is being put into play. It's just right at the defense, mostly into center field to JL Austin, but they've had some good at bats. Just good defense behind Malin.
Going through 4 innings of work, they've made Malin work just a little bit. 52 pitches thrown, not a lot over what you would want to see from a pitcher, but to your point, they've made contact, just been unable to find something that successfully gets them on base, and they have to figure out how they can square, whether it's the rise ball or the drop ball. You have to pick one of them. You can't chase both and stay on time.
So Lyon stands in on the right side. First pitch swinging and can't make contact with that one. Lyon had one of the first 5 outs recorded to center field by JL Austin. And Malin now quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
Well, so far in this at bat against Lyon, Ruby Malin with 2 rise balls, neither one of those ticking down in the zone.
A little bit too high on that one for ball 1.
She knows that one. Again, 4th game that Utah is getting to see Ruby Malin, so what she throws is no surprise.
And a good grab by Davis at third base. Short little one-hopper right in front of her. Makes it look easy at the hot corner as Haley White now comes to the plate.
Well, a year ago, Rosie Davis was playing second base, and Kenny Gajewski actually moved her from second to third to solidify that left side of the infield. Now, in moving there, he had a hole at second base that he was trying to fill for quite a while this season, and we talked about the move to bring McDonald into the everyday lineup, which slid Carly Godwin over to second, and since has been a pretty steady defense. So Godwin might not be the most fundamentalist job done. Has been able to be viable, but for the offense, we've been able to put all the pieces together.
I think the broadcast people knew that you were just talking about Godwin as White lines one softly to her. She makes it look like she's a pretty experienced second baseman as Peyton Crank comes to the plate.
Hey, you know, sometimes you speak things into existence when you're up here on the mic. In that case, just letting Godwin get in on some action.
There's Crank. She's 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop. First pitch strike again by Malin. She's been doing such a good job of just attacking that strike zone.
Well, if I'm Utah, I start trying to hone in on where are the first pitch strikes being executed. And if there's a tendency, and in this inning so far, it's been the outer half to the right-handed hitters, then I'm looking to attack that zone first pitch, not get yourself in a hole.
Malin ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base is still empty. This is high and inside. I think Crank might have thought about it for a half second.
Well, I think the big thing, we've seen Ruby Malin trying to use that rise ball in the zone. Now she's trying to stretch it out of the zone and see if she can get some chases. Still have to start it around the belt for that, though. Tell Peyton Crank talking to the dugout about what pitch they're seeing, if they're seeing an upspin or a downspin. Not a bad pitch to attack, especially in a 2-2 count.
Swing and a miss. That's the first strikeout by Ruby Malin today. Ends the top of the 5th with an exclamation point. We head to the bottom of the inning, still scoreless from Oklahoma City. What a fun pitchers duel we have going here in the bottom of the 5th inning, still scoreless. See the numbers for Reddy and Ruby Malin. Both teams, hitters trying to figure out some way to put up a run, but so far both pitchers doing a phenomenal job of holding them at bay so far. First pitch to J.L. Austin. Called strike on the inside part of the plate. And Austin had a double back in the 2nd, made it to 3rd, but Utah shut the Cowgirls down and left the bases loaded. Swings and misses for strike 2.
Well, really that 2nd inning, the only time Oklahoma State has threatened. They did have a runner on scoring position, but left early for the first out. So take the 2nd inning out of this, and Mastretti really has been cruising.
This is low and inside, ball 1. But I mean, even with that 2nd inning, Mastretti still struck out the side in that inning, and a lot of that damage was done after 2 outs. Oklahoma State loaded the bases, and then Mastretti struck out Godwin.
Yes, Mastretti rose to the occasion, and you know, Oklahoma State with 3 hits, and really the double from J.L. Austin, the hardest hit of the game so far. The single from Hoffman and Tim have been pretty simple singles to right field.
And now it's another leadoff base runner for the Cowgirls. J.L. Austin at first base. We've got the top of the lineup coming up with Claire Tim. Second hit by pitch.
Yeah, another inside drop ball that gets a knee of an Oklahoma State Cowgirl.
Tim tries to put down a bunt, rolls foul, and Tim was the previous Cowgirl who was hit by a pitch by Mastretti back in the 2nd. That loaded the bases in that inning. Corner's playing in. Puts down a bunt, and it's foul again. And first base side.
I mentioned it earlier in the game when there was a chance to have a sack situation with Claire Tim on first in the first inning. With the way Mastretti's drop ball drops out of the zone, you have to be able to really stay down in the zone to make sure you get that ball fair.
Tim takes it the other way to left field. Sky makes the catch. I was going to ask you about that because it almost looked like an awkward angle for Tim where she was trying to go low, obviously, but kind of turned her body a little bit too far to the right.
Yeah, when you have to go straight down and you have to keep that barrel. I'm up here demonstrating like you can see me. But you have to be able to keep that barrel in front. As soon as you get behind the drop ball, it's not going to go back into fair territory. It is not an easy pitch to bunt. A lot of people assume you're going to get a rise ball trying to induce the pop-up, but a good drop ball is almost harder to bunt than a rise ball.
JL Austin leading off the first base bag with that first pitch, and you saw Noli going to cover first. Proctor, the catcher, keeps looking down, keeping an eye on Austin at first. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 5th, scoreless. Pitch misses inside and low. Godwin fouls it, third base side, count evens 2-2.
You can tell Oklahoma State now is starting to try to really work with that drop ball. Well, you want to see it up. Mastretti's good enough. She doesn't have to elevate it too often. So when she does, it's almost a mistake. So you have to prove that you can go down and drive her good pitch hard.
So it's bounced up the middle and through for a base hit. Austin holds it second. Godwin has her first hit of the day, and Cowgirls with 2 runners on and only 1 out. Here's Rosie Davis.
Well, you see Godwin goes down. She gets the good hop. She almost actually makes contact to where that hops right in front of home plate, but she gets the high bounce up the middle. Right now, if you're Oklahoma State, you'll take whatever you can get, whether it looks like a line shot or a bouncer up the middle, especially off Mastretti with the way she's been throwing.
Time now called. And if you're a coach in this situation, you know your pitcher has already been in a situation like this a couple of times with runners on base and 1 or 2 outs, but you're a little bit later in the game. Fatigue might be starting to settle in a little bit, but what's the message to the team?
Well, right now, one, they're probably talking about some defensive shifts, who's coming up, based on what Mastretti's throwing, where they need to be positioned. For Mastretti right now, this is just kind of a mental break to be able to take some time, regroup. But defensively, again, talking about if there's ground ball, can you get the play to force the force out? Do you want the middles to maybe play for a double play ball, depending on the speed of the runner at first and home? It looks like they're going to play straight up, not playing for a double play. Middles are very spread out.
It's the 86th pitch of the day for Mastretti. A good stop by Proctor behind the plate, and Austin at second base gave White, the second baseman, a little bit of concern.
Proctor's done a really good job, and if you are catching a drop ball pitcher, it's so important you learn how their ball bounces, because when you go to block it, it's not just like a typical block. You have to understand some will short hop, and you have to be ready for it. Some, depending on their spin, it'll take a little bit of an angle, and so you learn that. But Proctor has been really good behind home plate for Mastretti, not just stealing some strikes, but also keeping the ball in front.
Especially since there has been some traffic throughout the game. 1-2. And on the ground, right side of the infield, and it sneaks through into center field. Austin comes home to score. It's an RBI single for Rosie Davis. And the Cowgirls strike first in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, Rosie Davis gets a pitch up, and she just drives this right up the middle. White is playing closer to the 3-4 hole, so that sneaks through in the speed of JL Austin. Off to the races, absolutely no play at home. Oklahoma State. Again, runner in scoring position, and this time cashing in.
They go with the pinch runner. That'll be Jake Hughes. Aries McDonald. Going inside of McDonald. Donald with 15 RBI on the year. Oklahoma State taking the lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Takes another one for ball 2.
Well, now you can see Mastretti starting to show a little bit of emotion, a little frustrated, missing the 2 pitches here to McDonald. And again, Utah, the one team whose resume doesn't have them in the conversation for a regional, so they would have to win out at this tournament to be able to qualify.
That one misses inside and high for ball 4. Loads the bases. Second time today against Haley Mastretti. And Lexi McDonald now is the only Cowgirl to draw a walk against Mastretti. She's drawn 2. We'll have another pinch runner. This will be Kaya Booker.
Kaya Booker transferred to Oklahoma State from Georgia Tech in the offseason. Has been used primarily as a pinch runner this season.
What's 1-0 count? Man up.
First pitch to Hassler. This is high and inside, and so just one out here in the bottom of the 5th. With some extra speed on the base paths now with a pair of pinch runners. Jake Hughes at second, Booker at first. And Carly Godwin at third base. Called strike on the inner half. Count evens 1-1. Oklahoma State with an opportunity here. Extend this lead as she puts one down the left field line. That's a fair ball. 1 run scores. Here comes another. Booker hot on her heels. It's a 3-run double for Amanda Hassler. So kind left field corner putting her hands up. We're going to talk about exactly where Hassler will stand, either second or third base, but 3 runs come across.
Well, Hassler drills this right over the bag down into left field, and it's a hard hit. As Sakai goes chasing the ball, it wedges itself under the fence in left field. And as soon as that ball gets wedged, you throw your hands up, because if you go to play it, it becomes a live ball. But you see Sakai sees it's wedged, throws her hands up, never touches it. And Amy Ho gonna come out and have a conversation about why that play wasn't killed if the ball was wedged under the fence out there. And Hassler, seeing that Sakai threw her hands up, went ahead and stopped at second, knowing that's a ground roll double, and Kenny Gajewski waving her on, saying, come on, get to third base. And at that point, Sakai went and got the ball and threw it in.
Here's the replay, and I think you're right. I saw her stop at second base for the universal sign of the ball is out of play.
Her hands up are right there, and Booker's not around third yet.
Challenged by Utah. This call is under further review.
So what the difference this would make, aside from a runner at second or third, would be a run as well.
After review, the call on the fair ball stands. This will be Utah's first charge challenge.
So despite that ball being wedged out there and Sakai throwing up her hands, umpires left it live ball. So that's going to be a triple for Amanda Hassler and 3 RBIs.
A huge break for the Cowgirls. 4-0 now. Still with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Now Madison Hoffman step in on the left side with Hassler at third base. And Mastretti goes right after her. Called strike on the inner half. Hoffman hitting .474, a .600 on base percentage. He's already been on base once today. Pitch now misses low.
Well, now Mastretti nearing 100 pitches here in the 5th inning.
Finds his zone again on the outside part of the plate for a called strike 2.
Well, without at 2 outs here, that's averaging 20 pitches an inning. Quite a bit more than what you would like to see out of your starting pitcher.
And she sends it right up the middle. Another base hit. Hassler scores, and it's 5-0 Oklahoma State.
Well, now Oklahoma State not chasing anything, forcing Mastretti to throw in the zone. This pitch just hung up there, and Hoffman drives it right back up the middle. And we said with this pitching duel the way it was going and drop ball pitchers, it was going to be consecutive at-bats that were going to win this game. It wasn't going to be one big blow. And Oklahoma State has been able to build at-bat after at-bat here in the 5th.
It'll be Gabby Castillo pinch running for Hoffman. The catcher, Aubrey Schneidmiller, at the plate. First pitch she sees, she puts it on the ground, tosses to second, on to first. A 6-4-3 double play ends the inning, but 5 runs come across for the Cowgirls. We head to the top of the 6th in Oklahoma City. Top of the 6th, but here in the bottom of the 5th inning, it was an RBI single for Rosie Davis, getting the first run across for Oklahoma State. Then a 3-run triple for Amanda Hassler. Added 3 more before Madison Hoffman stepped up and wrapped up the scoring with an RBI single, bringing home Amanda Hassler. And the Cowgirls put up 5 runs in that 5th inning. All 5 runs came on 5 straight hits. And now Ruby Malin back in the center circle for Oklahoma State with a 5-run lead. Has only allowed 2 base runners all night. A walk by Danica Wilson and then a walk by Mia Gomez.
This was a pitcher's duel, and Oklahoma State making the adjustment first. And they were chipping away. While they hadn't scored against Mastretti yet, they had some base hits. As we mentioned, they loaded the bases in the 2nd. So now it was a matter of time before they were able to put them together consecutively. But the hit by pitch to JL Austin really set the tone. And again, while in the books it's a big triple, a ground ball, really what would have been a double had Sakai not thrown up her hands, everything was simple hits just up the middle or finding the holes for Oklahoma State consecutively. And if Utah's going to get back in this, that's what they're going to have to do against Ruby Malin. It's not going to come with big swings. It's going to come with just piling on a couple singles with some free passes.
1-2, misses outside, and that's kind of what you feel like could come pretty easily, or as Utah's right on the cusp of doing, because they've only been struck out once against Malin today. So the ball is put into play. They just haven't come away with any hits. Liner to the first baseman, McDonald, and she picks it out of the air and takes a hit right away from the Utes. Plays like that.
Recently lines this one down the first base line, and McDonald reaches up, but to me it's the land, like she just jumped way high. I'm not so sure how you could barely slide a credit card under those feet with that jump, but she robs a base hit either way. Again, it's the effort and the way Lexi McDonald plays that Coach Gajewski loves to see and thinks it's contagious for the entire Cowgirl lineup.
Gomez at the plate, 0 for 1 with a walk today. Lines it to center field. Austin moves to her left and makes another out. 2 away in the top of the 6th.
I don't know what the record for outs made in center field is in a game for Oklahoma State, because JL Austin has to be coming close to it. I think I have 7 for her alone today.
First pitch to Passy, misses a little bit low for ball 1. Malin finds a low and outside part of the plate. Count evens 1-1.
Well, you see that pitch, and it's almost like a low rise ball. While it's not jumping up a ton, it's a pitch that now is sitting in the strike zone where most hitters assume the drop ball is going to drop out of the zone at that point. And she follows it while it sits in the zone with a pitch that then falls out to be able to get the swing and miss. Right there was a perfect example of tunneling.
Two misses high, and Passy does not offer. High again. Count goes full. I believe this is just the third full count worked against Malin today. Last two did result in walks. A payoff. Grounds at third base side.
You can tell Utah trying to force Malin up in the zone. We haven't seen them chase the ball down, and the amount of fly balls outs they have, Oklahoma State knew that that was going to be the game plan, utilizing Ruby Malin's rise ball a little bit more.
This is low and inside, ball 4. Here's Danica Wilson. Walked in the first inning, was left on base, and a fly out to left field in the 4th.
We kind of asked Kenny Gajewski, how long are you going to let Ruby Malin go, knowing they're really going to have to ride Ruby if they're going to win this tournament? And he said they want to win this tournament, not at all costs. They need to keep Ruby in a good place, knowing that they are going to a regional and trying to solidify themselves into a better seeding to be able to host. And he said 5 or 6 runs, but I have to imagine she's not coming out of this one quite yet.
I would think she'll be sticking around. Maybe if there's a couple extra base runners, but
right now with Utah, the only 3 base runners have reached on a walk.
No one has passed first base. Those 3 walks have stayed at first.
I think Carrie Eberle just called time to give Ruby Malin a little bit more of a breather. Let her clear her head as she continues in this game. And sometimes you need that. It's not always a coach calling time to come out and tell you what's going to be thrown or mechanically what's wrong, but more just, hey, let's take a breath. Let's do you. Don't try to do too much. Especially someone as passionate as Ruby Malin. Sometimes you can tell when the wheels start turning, or my coach used to tell me, you could always, the eyebrows gave away like how intense or how angry I was, and sometimes had to call time to even the eyebrows out. She said I used to get Oscar the Grouch eyebrows.
That was your tell?
That was my tell. And she said on game day, if I had Oscar the Grouch eyebrows, it was a good thing, but in practice, it usually wasn't a good thing.
1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Ruby Malin gets her second strikeout of the game. Strands that runner at first. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Oklahoma State still leading 5-0 in Oklahoma City.
Well, Ruby Malin going up in the zone, and she's able to end the threat of the Utes.
bottom of the 6th, but Oklahoma State putting up all 5 of their runs in the 5th inning. You look at the course of the season, 4th and 5th innings have been their bread and butter, outscoring opponents 95-35, and they've put up a 5 spot in the 5th inning tonight.
Well, it's the end of that second time, start of the third time through the order for the Cowgirls that really starts to make the adjustment. We saw them threaten early, and then as that third time came through, JL Austin got hit by a pitch for her second at bat, but the top of the lineup went ahead and made the adjustment, piling it on against Haley Mastretti.
And Shelby Jones now takes over in the circle for Haley Mastretti here in the bottom of the 6th inning. With Oklahoma State leading 5-0. Shelby Jones, the junior, 2.44 ERA. Aubrey Jones will lead things off. First pitch misses a little bit high and inside for ball 1. Jones today reached on an error back in the 2nd, was left on base. Now sends it to right field. Lee waits on it, makes the catch, 1 away.
Shelby Jones going to come in and be a very different look. She's going to essentially use 3 speeds, so she's going to have her off speed, her change up that sits about 53, 54. And she's going to have a rise ball that she can pump in there in upper 60s, but at the same time use a curveball low in the zone that's 3 or 4 miles an hour different. So the 3 speeds for Shelby Jones going to come to play here against Oklahoma State.
Just kind of pops out of the mid of Proctor.
That pitch well in the outer half, and Proctor tried to frame it as it was spinning away from her.
And finds a zone on the outside part of the plate.
Pitchers go back and watch film to thank Meade Proctor or buy her a couple coffees. She's stolen quite a few strikes. I think that one might have been off the edge a little bit too.
And now that helps Jones get into a 2-strike count now.
And Jones using that off-speed pitch there in the same location.
This is high. Count goes full with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th.
I think Jones had JL Austin set up for that rise ball. That one just a little bit too high and not in. So Austin was able to recognize it early. And after that off-speed pitch, definitely had her set up to go up and in.
This is high, ball 4. It's a 1-out walk. And now you have the top of the lineup with Claire Tim. Just misses off the plate for ball 1, and Jones Had the 32nd no-hitter in program history on March 11th against Abilene Christian. Over 5 innings and a 13-0 Utah win. Pitch was a little bit low, and they throw down to first to try to get Austin. The ball rolls into right field, and Austin advances to second.
That's a play where the game just gets a little bit fast on you. Austin taking the jump because she sees it in the dirt. But Proctor rushing a throw that isn't needed because Austin was already going back to the bag. Make that throw and backup isn't there because it's not a planned pick. You run the risk of giving an extra 60 feet the way JL Austin took.
Also takes away a possible double play. Swing and a miss. Count evens 2-2.
Gotta love the way Shelby Jones reacts whenever she gets a strike. She is her own hype woman. Pounding of the glove. She recognizes Proctor, but fires herself up.
Fouled back again. Jones was named Big 12 Pitcher of the Week back in March. She beat Kansas with a complete game 3-hitter.
Talk about some of these wins that Utah picked up. Talked about Baylor beating Tech, and it just goes to show the Big 12 this year how competitive it was. And
tries to take it the other way, and it's picked out of the air by Lyon.
Knowing we were going to be calling these games, you start to follow it after the halfway point to try to figure out, okay, who's in the tournament, who's not. You see here that line drive, Lyon able to go up and snag it. But for a while, there was a big just modge podge of teams that were all 1-2 games apart, and it was like, well, there's still no telling how this is going to end up, and it really took until the last series for it to even out on who was even making the tournament.
First pitch strike to Carly Godwin.
There was a point on the last day if Utah had won, like how that was going to play out, because Baylor was in that mix being wise. I feel like it's been a while in the Big 12 since there was such a race for making the conference tournament and the seeding in the conference tournament.
And it goes a long way to show the talent in the conference, and then not to mention the next step with the NCAA tournament, how many Big 12 teams will be represented.
Right now, it looks like in the conversation, 6 or 7. Talking about the national scene, here's your Big 12 schools in the top 25. Texas Tech has been #1 at certain points of the season. Oklahoma State worked themselves up to 15. And you see Arizona, Arizona State, and UCF rounding out the bottom part of the 20s.
Fly ball hit well to center field. Wilson back on it at the wall. And Carly Godwin demolishes the softball to straightaway center field, a 2-run blast. It's 7-0 Cowgirls.
Cowgirl fans on their feet. They are used to seeing Carly Godwin leave the yard. This game so tightly contested until the 5th inning. Now Oklahoma State fans starting to breathe, but this pitch on the outer half, but just stays there. It doesn't move in or out. And Godwin drives that dead center field, extending Oklahoma State's lead.
There's Rosie Davis.
Looks like Amy Hogue might be going back out to make another change.
It does look like we will have a pitching change. We're in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs. Ruby Malin staying loose as she hopes to pitch the top of the 7th. We'll step aside with a new pitcher coming in. Racy Miranda enters the game for the Utes here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 7-0 Oklahoma State. Miranda, the senior, the .286 ERA, 9-3 record in 23 appearances. That was a 2-run homer for Carly Godwin after J.L. Austin reached on the walk.
Miranda gonna come in from the right side, but similar to how Mastretti pitched, a lot of drop balls, has an off-speed pitch, she'll tunnel with that. Primarily just gonna work drop balls down in the zone, try to keep Oklahoma State in the yard, force them to have consecutive quality at bats if they're gonna end this game. Are 1 run away from the run rule, but Utah is looking at 2 outs already. Similar to the Women's College World Series, the event staff here looking for Carly Godwin's family to give her the home run ball.
First pitch swinging, and Davis grounds it right back up the middle and through for a base hit. That's a nice touch. Give the home run balls back.
Well, and you can imagine when it's the World Series and they have the stands out in center field, and sometimes it's a chore to get those balls back from fans, but you always find a way.
Maybe some negotiations to get the ball back.
Oh, no, I'd give it back. All you'd have to do is say like free nachos or free ice cream, and I'd be like, here's the ball. How about it?
Yeah. Run me by the concession stand first, and this ball is all yours.
Right. It is such a nice touch. Families appreciate it.
And on the ground of the shortstop, Passy, she throws to first, and it's in time. Utah gives up a pair of runs off the Carly Godwin home run. We head to the top of the 7th. Oklahoma State on top 7-0. Top of the 7th inning in Oklahoma City, and Oklahoma State leading 7-0 over Utah, and Ruby Malin in the circle for her 7th inning of work, and she has been phenomenal, only allowing 3 base runners all game. Only 3 base runners have reached via walks. It'll be Kennedy Proctor to lead things off. 4, 5, and 6-2 up in the lineup. Ruby Malin just looking to close things out. First pitch hit on the ground, left side, and it sneaks through. That's the first hit of the game for Utah. Leadoff single, and Ruby Malin's no-hit bid has come to an end.
You knew with the 7-run lead, Oklahoma State leaving her in to see if she can complete the no-hitter, but this pitch just elevated enough on the inside that Proctor was able to sneak that through the 5-6 hole. Let's see, Ruby Malin talking to Schneidmiller about where that pitch was. But Proctor able to get the first hit on the board for Utah, but still a tall task with a 7-run deficit.
The Anna Reimers now pinch running over at first base. Only in on the right side. First pitch strike from Malin, and I have to imagine that Malin was aware of the no-hitter. I would assume.
You're very aware as a pitcher, and especially with a scoreboard that big, you don't look out there and not notice a goose egg in that big H column, but Ruby Malin incredibly close to pulling the feet off.
A 2 swing and a miss. First down, the bottom of the 7th. And she flirted with the no-hitter in a tournament, and when tensions are high, it must be really difficult under these conditions, but the last pitcher to throw a no-hitter in the Big 12 Conference was 2005. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do you know who it is?
I have no idea who was pitching in the Big 12. Yes, I know who that was. Would have been myself, actually.
Whoa, you're the trivia answer. Line lines it to right field, quickly 2 away.
To be honest, probably wouldn't have known that if we hadn't got the email to let us know when the last one was, but you know, I think it just goes to show the competitiveness of the Big 12. It's hard to do, regardless of who you're facing. And you know, Ruby Malin probably wishes she could have that one pitch back. Sometimes you get so caught up in the fact that no one has thrown a no-hitter, or that you have a no-hitter going. You try to almost overthrow, and I think after that hit, she's kind of settled in now and starting to see the ball dance a little bit more than we did late in this game.
Seems to be working a little bit quicker too as she fires in the pitch. And now Oklahoma State fans are on their feet. Masterful performance from Ruby Malin. Two outs, top of the 7th. Oklahoma State up 7-0.
I saw her face change as soon as that ball got through the 5-6 hole. A little mad, and I think that edge started to come out here in the top of the 7th.
92nd pitch is bounced right back to Malin in the circle. Throws to first. There's the silo slam as the Oklahoma State Cowgirls take this one 7-0 over Utah. And what a masterful performance for Ruby Malin.
I'm pretty sure I just read her lips, but we won't repeat what she just said, but Ruby Malin absolutely controlled this game from the first pitch on. And while it took Oklahoma State a little bit to get going offensively, they were able to get to Haley Mastretti, put up the big 5 spot in the 5th inning and give Ruby Malin plenty of support in game 1 here in Oklahoma City.
And that big 5 spot in the 5th inning, that's where the Cowgirls have really lived in that 4 and 5 inning part of the ball game, and they're able to jump on their opponents, and they did it again, and they capped everything off with a 2-run home run by Carly Godwin. As Oklahoma State will advance in the Big 12 tournament. As they will advance their name on the bracket down on the field, and see the coaches there talking, and it's great work, and you have to be happy. You have great offensive output with the lineup that's able to adjust second or third time through, facing Mastretti, and then you have a pitcher like Malin to turn to.
I think the big thing for any team that's hitting on all cylinders isn't that you necessarily have to score from inning 1 on, but it's being able to chip away and figure out how to score, and Oklahoma State did that. And you see it's senior Ruby Malin go ahead and putting their name on the board as they advance to the semifinals.
So OSU will live to play tomorrow, and they will face the winner of Arizona and Arizona State. That will end the day for us. That will start in about 35 minutes, a little bit of an in-state rivalry game in Oklahoma City, outside the state of Arizona. So that will do it for us here for the Oklahoma State-Utah game. Oklahoma State advances. About 35 minutes, we will have the conclusion of the first day of the Big 12 softball tournament here from Oklahoma City.